Hello everyone, my name is Evan Glendenning, and this video is for a class I'm taking for ASU. The class is NLM 160 Volunteer Action and Community Leadership. Now, a project that I've been doing was for the Here to Help Active Learning project for M5. Now, what I did for my active learning project was to do buddy checks for veterans. I partnered with American Legion Post 61, Avondale, Arizona. We were able to make over 1,000 phone calls to veterans to see how they're doing. Depending on the report that you read, somewhere between 14 and 22 veterans on average commit suicide every day. So this was geared towards reaching out to a demographic that has a high suicide rate. We called to see how they're doing, if they needed help with anything, things of the sort, or they just wanted to talk. Now, the cool thing about the list of people that I was able to call, if we couldn't get a hold of them for whatever reason, they changed their phone number, line was disconnected, we're able to make email, so we're able to email multiple people also. Now, because of these buddy checks, we are able to get multiple people rides coordinated to medical appointments because they didn't have a ride for whatever reason. I was able to make multiple referrals to the American Legion Post Veteran Service Officers so they could get help with a VA claim, so they could get medical help from the Department of Veterans Affairs down the line. Now, I was able to get 2 people referred to the Veteran Service Officer for what's called TFA, Temporary Financial Assistance, because they were having problems either putting food on the table or paying rent or something serious like that. So they were able to start the process with the Veteran Service Officer to go through the Temporary Financial Assistance Program and hopefully get the help that they need for that. Now, I was able to organize this event and get multiple people to help out with these phone calls, so I didn't have to make 1,000 phone calls by myself. Now, this was very helpful. It cut the time down by a lot. Now, we made over 1,000 phone calls, multiple emails. We were able to get multiple veterans the help that they need. Now, what kind of surprised me about this experience is the age range that we have that we called for veterans were around the mid-20s to the oldest person I called was in his late 70s. Now, the veteran demographic, there's so many different issues that affect different groups of veterans. A Vietnam veteran went through different stuff than what I did when I was active duty. So you kind of have to change the type of questions you're asking to a Vietnam veteran versus someone around my age. Now, this is kind of challenging at times when you're trying to promote mental health and suicide prevention with different demographics. But it's also rewarding at the same time because we're able to get help to veterans that need it. This definitely stretched me out of my comfort zone because I never really organized a buddy check like this before, especially for over 1,000 veterans. So I also coordinated with the people that did the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or X now, what they call it. And we're able to promote the suicide prevention hotline, getting people to come and volunteer, and we're able to make multiple posts for suicide awareness and prevention. So I learned a lot about the community that I did this with, is because I learned a lot of struggles that different age groups had as compared to other age groups. Like Vietnam veterans, they had a lot of issues that are different than what I went through while active duty. And as a veteran, immediately after getting out of the military, there's different issues, which I could probably make a million videos after this, but there's different issues that they went through that cause even more issues. And so we're able to get that help to those different groups. And each one had to be curtailed just a little bit to make sure they get the appropriate type of help. So there's different aspects of what I've been learning in all my different classes to apply to this event. I've been realizing the need to record all the information of the stuff that we're doing so I could give a presentation to the American Legion at their next upcoming meeting. This will be going towards their annual reports, which will be going up to a national level, and which will be compiled with all the other American Legions to one big report that will eventually be given to Congress. Now, it's kind of cool that these details that I'm providing in a report to them will be provided to Congress in a fashion. So keep like just by making sure I record all the volunteer hours, what we did, how many people reached out, and make sure I thanked all my volunteers and giving them shout outs and all that stuff, and writing letters of appreciation to them, all that good stuff. It's stuff that was iterated to me in this class and in all my other classes. So this was a learning experience. It reinforced what I've been learning in other classes, and it was definitely a challenge of getting people organized on a day that was where a lot of people were free to make these phone calls, getting 1,000 people called to see they're doing okay, and then for the people that needed help to coordinate them with people that were able to help them. So it was a lot of logistics, a lot of phone calls, a lot of talking, and that's something that I'd never done before, and it definitely got me out of my comfort zone. It was very rewarding in the fact that I was able to get people help. They were hopefully preventing someone's suicide and stuff like that. So I do highly encourage people to get involved in the community. Even if it's just by calling someone, seeing how they're doing, if you could help them, if they need a ride to a doctor's appointment or something like that, doing something simple like getting someone to a doctor's appointment could be very meaningful and able to help them in the long run. You don't have to go do something elaborate like build a new house for someone, but that's also helpful. But something small could be a long positive impact for someone. So I highly encourage someone and everyone to get involved as much as they can and be that one that's able to make a difference in that one person's life. So I hope you learn a lot from this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day.